Hello everyone, and welcome to today's Gentle Flow with me, Emily. Today we're going to be focusing on releasing our psoas muscle. You can do this flow any time of the day. It is important to release our psoas muscle because it is our response to our fight or flight mechanism, to our nervous system response. So if you can imagine, if we're in a dangerous situation, our psoas muscle is going to be the one that gets our legs up into the running position. Even long after we relax or assess the situation isn't dangerous, that information can be stored in our psoas muscles and stay tight and tense. As we're going through this flow, it might come up that emotions come up that you haven't experienced in a while. You might find yourself in tears or crying out of nowhere. I just want you to know, if that happens, that it's completely normal. We often store our emotions here as well. And if you don't experience anything, that is also normal. So without expectations, just allowing and observing what comes up for you in today's practice. I'm going to be starting in an easy seat, grabbing a block, allowing it to sit under my sits bones, allowing my knees to drape down towards the earth. My crown is going to reach tall towards the ceiling, and I'm going to roll my shoulders down and away. Go ahead and start here. You can gaze softly at the tip of your nose if you like, or even close off the eyes. I do have my cards available. I was just going to draw one. My toddler often plays with these, so they're usually a mess, but they're the perfect card for a toddler because I have them laminated and they cannot be destroyed. So anyways, tuning in, they're kind of all flipped up and down, so I'm not going to look. I'm just going to kind of shuffle and see if one feels right for a word for us to maybe visualize, or even use as a sankalpa, an intention for the class. Student, perfect. I have the student card. It's probably difficult to read on the screen. Just slide my mess of cards off to the back. So student, this resonates a lot with me right now, being a student in the 300-hour teacher training and always being a student in life. I don't want to go too much in and share what my perception is and to influence your practice at all. But I invite you to take the word student into your mind if you feel called to. You absolutely do not have to, but if you feel called, bring the word student into your awareness throughout the practice and see if anything comes up for you at all. So tuning back into our body, setting up our posture. I'm going to close off my eyes. And we're just going to breathe here, allowing the air to naturally float through the lungs, travels down to our belly, expands our navel out towards the opposite side of the room. And then our navel draws back towards our spine as the air travels. Inhaling, filling up that belly and our chest. While we're breathing here, I want us to energetically breathe through that left nostril. We don't have to do anything physically, just imagine the air going into the left side of the nose and exhaling through the left side. Inhaling right side, exhaling right side. Go ahead and continue that. Practice breathing on the left side. Inhale, exhale, and then switch to the right side. Bringing awareness to the crown of the head, we're going to bring our fingertips and walk them towards the top of our head, just like if we were going to be finding the part on our hairline, and press all fingertips onto the scalp here, gently drawing the fingers down the side of the head, tracing down towards the jawline. Coming again, we're going to move slightly back, aiming to get the whole scalp, drawing our fingers down till we reach the edge of the skull and going all the way back. One more time, right in the center. Imagine if someone took the palm of their hand and swept it across your forehead, releasing any wrinkles, any question marks that you hold with your eyes, your eyebrows, drawing attention to relaxing your eyes, the tip of your nose, your right cheek, your left cheek, your upper lip, your lower lip, your chin, front of your neck, the chest, right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, right thumb, right fingers, right palm, top of hand, traveling down, right rib, right hip, right thigh, right knee, right shin and calf, right ankle, top of right foot, right toes, top of left foot, left ankle, left shin and calf, left knee, left thigh, left hip, left rib cage, left fingers, left thumb, top of left hand, palm of left hand, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, behind our neck, middle of our back, lower spine, sacrum, sits bones, back of knees, back of heels, bottom of feet, whole body, whole body, whole body. Feeling present and activated in our entire physical body and maybe our energy body as well. Being aware here. And finding some light movements in our hands. Taking our block away, if we had one, underneath our sits bones. Staying in a seated position. Let's draw that right foot into the inside of our right leg. The heel comes to the inside of our right leg or thigh. Then reaching the left leg long. You can stay here. If you're finding it difficult to rest your right thigh on the earth, if you have a blanket or a pillow handy for this practice in general, go ahead and bring it. So starting to find our stretch here, activating our left thigh by drawing the knee towards the hip bone, flexing that left foot, a nice active left leg here. Top of the body is long, chest is open. And if you like, you can stay here. You can bring your hands to heart center. I'm going to remove my blanket. Or if you'd like to do a little bit more, inhale your arms up. Twist towards that left foot and hinge at the hips and reach to grab the palm of your foot. And allowing that upper body to fold over that knee. You can bend that left knee if you need a little bit more to reach that chest towards the top of the thigh. And you can stay here, or you can take your left peace fingers, grab that left toe, and extend that right arm to the side, finding a slight twist, looking up at those fingers, finding length in the left side body. We don't want to be collapsing over. Finding length on both sides. And releasing that hand. And you can use your hands to walk your upper body back up into a seated position. Go ahead and take your time switching the legs, extending your right leg out, allowing that left leg to come to the floor. Adjust your blanket to follow underneath that knee where you need, and also moving your sits bones, removing flesh away, really trying to plant our sits bones into the earth here. Again, activating the right leg, drawing that knee energetically up towards that right hip, flexing, activating here. Inhaling, arms up, or hands at heart center and staying in the center if you like. Slight twist towards that right foot, reach it tall and hinge forward. Grabbing that right foot, staying here if it's in your practice, finding a slight bend in your knee. We don't want to lock out the knee, but only reach and come down as far as is comfortable in your practice here. Roll the shoulders down and away and present your heart. Grabbing your right piece, or your toes with your right peace fingers, and opening it up to the left side of the room. Lengthen through that right side body, and then hinge a little bit further. Gaze follows the fingertips on the ceiling. Tuning into your breath. Breathing into the top of that thigh, finding activation. And releasing. Coming back. Use your hands to walk yourself back up. Go ahead and shake it out. Stretching through that left leg. We're going to be bending that right foot, that right knee, and allow your right foot to come and hug up to your pelvis. If you need your foot a little bit lower, go where you can in your practice. But please do not rest your foot on that left knee. You can go below or above. Find where you are comfortable in your body, and this may be where we can use some support underneath. We want it to feel some sort of stretch in that right hip flexor. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, twist to the right, allowing that hand to rest on that right knee, and gaze over the right shoulder. Breathing here, flexing through that left foot, drawing that knee energetically towards that hip. and finding length on your exhale. So inhale, shortening, and exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Gently using your left hand to press that knee towards the ground, finding an opening. On your next inhale, coming back to center, and you can release your hands to help guide that leg. Shaking it out, rolling side to side, becoming active, and bringing that left bottom of the foot. You can rest it on top of the leg, tuck it in like a tree pose. I have not had my morning beverage yet. And becoming active, a nice flex in that right foot. Draw that knee towards your hip. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Gently using that right hand to draw that knee to the earth and gaze reaching beyond that left shoulder. As we inhale, we sort of shorten, even if it's energetic, and exhale. More into the twists we go. Giving our organs a massage as well as our muscles, our fascia, all of our body. And on your next inhale, coming back to center and bringing your hands down to assist you in extending those legs. From here, let's try a butterfly pose. If you have more than one, if you have a blanket and a pillow, you can use those to assist you under your knees. Your butterfly is going to look like whatever it looks like to you, as long as you feel comfortable in your practice. So we're aiming to bring the bottom or the arches of the feet together, aligning the feet in place. It can look like your feet being farther extended away from you, if this is how you feel more open. Or you can walk those heels right towards your pubis bone. Finding length, allowing your chest to open up here, bringing your shoulders down and away, finding opening in length in great posture. Tuck your chin slightly. Navel to spine. Making any adjustments you need at any time. You can relax your arms. You can put your hands in your favorite mudra. Pressing bottoms of feet together, allowing opening for those hips. Finding surrender into the asana whenever possible. Observing the body, sensations, and our breath. And starting to release Use your hands to guide your knees up, feet on the floor, and then we're going to kick them underneath our body, coming into a tabletop position. Depending on your flooring and your knees, if you like a little bit more support underneath the knees, a little bit of cushion here. Finding yourself in a tabletop position, we can have a blanket under our knees for support here, stacking our shoulders right over the wrists and palms. Knees are under our hips. Let's go ahead and work some hip circles in. And move in one direction, aiming to hit all four corners of the room or of your mat, energetically reaching your hips towards the corners of your mat. Feeling how it is in your body, how your range of motion is, and then reversing your circles, going in the opposite direction. Noticing any differences, if there are, how the one side feels compared to the other. From here, we're going to tuck our toes and send our hips to the sky, coming into a downward facing dog. To get ourselves set up, let's bend our knees a great amount and nestle our belly right on top of the thighs. Weight is in the L's of the fingers, the thumb and the forefinger. Our shoulders are open across our back. Our neck is long, gaze is between our feet on the mat. From here, straighten through the knees as much as you can and reach your heels towards the back of the mat. If you have to keep a bend in your knees, that's perfectly okay as well. This is your practice, only doing what feels great in your body. Shift the weight into that left foot, reach that right leg to the sky, and step it forward. We're framing that right foot with our hands, lower that left knee to the mat. And then we're going to send the weight in the left hip, stretching through that right foot as much as possible. If we have blocks, they can be helpful here as well. Keeping our chest lifted, our right foot flexed. Energetically draw that right hip towards the back of the room and bring that left hip forward. Feeling an opening in the underneath of that right hamstring and hip. You're always welcome to take a child's pose or find a rest if this is too much at any time. We're going to walk our hands forward, framing that right foot, tucking that left toe, extending through that left leg so that we can shoot the right leg back into three-legged dog and bring it down to the earth, aligning ourselves up in our downward facing dog. Lift up that left leg, look forward and step it through. I kind of have to walk my right foot back a little bit, lowering that right knee to the earth. And straightening through that left leg. A lift in the chest as we hinge in that left hip, bringing our chest forward towards that knee. Energetically draw that left hip back and bring that right hip forward, squaring off at the hips. Breathing here, sending your breath where you need it. And lowering that left foot to the earth. Framing that left foot again, tucking those right toes, and step that left foot back to the sky. Coming back to your downward facing dog. Finding our breath and then inhaling our right leg to the sky, stepping it through, lowering that left knee to the mat, releasing the top of that left foot, coming forward to crescent lunge. We want our right knee stacked over that right ankle, allowing that left hip to come forward, energetically drawing that right hip back. You can also utilize your blocks here if you need support, or hands to heart center. Allowing for as much opening as possible. Firmly rooting into the ground with that right foot. Gaze is soft, breath is intentional. And then framing that right foot. Tucking that left toe and sending that right foot back to the sky. Finding your downward facing dog. And then lifting that left leg to the sky. Stepping it through, lowering that right knee to the ground. Sinking it forward, crescent lunge. Stacking that left knee over that left ankle. Allow shoulders to roll open if our hands are to the sky, or bringing hands to heart center. Weight is in that left foot. And framing that left foot. Sending left leg back to the sky. Bringing both feet to the mat. Drop your knees as wide as the mat. Bring your toes to touch. Send your hips back for a child's pose. Walk your hands out in front of you. Arms are long. And bring your third eye down to the mat. Resting pose. Go ahead and breathe here. Feeling the stretch in your arms. Allowing this to be a time of restoration. Checking back in with our awareness. Maybe seeing if the word student has come into your mind at all throughout your practice. If not, that's perfectly okay. Just allowing what's to come for you to come organic, being in pure awareness, if possible, in your practice, out of the mind, into the body, merged with the breath. Another nice inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, coming back up to tabletop, sending our hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Lift that right leg to the sky. As we bring it forward, bending that right knee and bringing it to the ground behind the right wrist. Allow that left leg to slide back. Here's a good place to have blocks. for pigeon. So we can hold ourselves up here if we don't have blocks and this is way too much, or we just want to go and recline. Go ahead and fold over that right thigh and reach your arms to the earth. Allow your forearms to support you here, palms spread out on the front of the mat. If you want, you can look back and make sure that your left toes are pointed straight towards the back wall. Nice alignment. If we're up on our forearms here, our neck is long and our gaze is between the center of our forearms on the mat. Energetically sending that right hip back and allowing our left hip to square forward. And if at this point you just haven't been able to do this, you can always put supportive pillows underneath your hips, allowing you to get to the ground as much as possible. Or to lie on your back and cross the leg over in the figure 4 position. And walking ourselves up. Coming back, tucking those toes, lifting through that left leg to reach that right leg to the sky, to 3-legged dog, and planting that right foot, adjusting yourself, finding your downward facing dog, looking forward and lifting that left leg to the sky, stepping it through. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do that again. We're on pigeon here, Emily. Lifting left leg to the sky and bringing that left knee behind that left wrist. Allowing the right leg to extend behind us. This is a good time to look at the toe alignment. Make sure that they're shooting back towards the back of the room. If we like to stay tall here, it's a good place to have the blocks and also blankets and support tucked under us, so that we're comfortably resting here, actively stretching through the psoas. Or if it's in our practice, to hinge over that left thigh, coming on to our forearms, neck is long, energetically pressing elbows to the mat towards one another. Allowing for opening here, allowing for your experience to be, knowing any thoughts and sensations are welcome, as long as it's not pain. If it's pain, please get out of the pose anytime. And if it was more comfortable for you to be on your back, holding your leg in a figure 4, go ahead and do that in replace of this pigeon pose. Finding ourselves active, walking our hands under our shoulders, lifting that right leg, sending left leg back to the sky, and coming back down for downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal up the legs if you want. Alternate reaching opposite heels to the mat, allowing those shoulders to be open. And bringing our knees to the mat again. Go ahead and sit down on our heels and swing them underneath us. Finding our seat on our sits bones, rocking, rolling back just on our sits bones, allowing our chest to open, fingers reach away from us. From here, pull the navel to spine, really activating that lower belly. Plant to the left foot and reach that right leg. Point those right toes. And lower down. Press to that right foot and lift those left toes. And then lifting both toes, making sure our chest is open. And lowering both feet to the ground. Setting ourselves up to slowly lower, vertebrae by vertebrae, to the earth. Go ahead and hug those knees to the chest. If we like to go into that figure four I was talking about, keeping that left knee bent and allow that right ankle to rest right on that left knee. Allow the right hip to open and use your hands clasped to draw the back of that left hamstring into your chest, at least towards your chest. Flexing through that left foot. Using your exhale to draw that foot a little bit nearer. And go ahead and release and switch legs. Left ankle to right knee. Flexing through that right foot. Using our hands to draw that right knee forward or closer to us. On our exhale, finding a deeper stretch. And allowing yourself to release. Hold the back of your legs with your hands. We're going to rock and roll up to a seated position. And today I want to do Shavasana with our feet resting on a chair for a Psoas opener. I didn't mention it at the beginning of class, and I will put it in the comments of the video. But if you don't have a chair handy, we can go ahead and utilize the wall. So take a second to go and locate a chair, pause the video and come back. I'll get mine set up. If we have a pillow or a blanket, we can have it available to go under our hips. So we want our calves resting on the seat of the chair. And if we don't have a chair, it's perfectly fine. Walk your way towards a wall and then bend your knees like this and just press your feet up on the wall. And if that is too exhausting or you're not feeling it in your practice, just walk your sits bones close to the wall like you were sitting, and then reach your legs up and then put your legs straight on the wall, or just lie down in Shavasana. So we're going to take the next few moments to allow ourselves to open. Allow those shoulders to roll down, to spread wide on the mat. Feeling your body on the mat. Palms are open to the ceiling, allowing for more universal energy to flow through your hands. As they enter the hands, they draw up to your forearms, through the inside of your elbows. The energy draws up to your shoulders. It goes up your neck, up the right side of your face. It embraces your ear, crosses over the left side of the forehead and down, left ear, left chin, down the left side of the neck. It spreads across your chest and down to the navel, your pelvis, your hips, down that right leg to the right knee, right ankle, right foot, and back up to the left leg, down the left leg, to the knee, left ankle, left foot, draws back up to that left hip, and back up to that left armpit. Imagining this universal energy has circled your entire body. Maybe the energy has a color, maybe it radiates as white light. Just observing what's true for you in this experience. Softly feeling the balls of your feet resting onto your chair. Feeling weightless in your hip flexors. And breathing awareness back into your body. If this feels so good and you just want to stay in it, go ahead and stay in it as I wrap up the class. Or you can begin to come out by wiggling your toes and your fingers. Feeling awareness in the body. Maybe making a movement. Resting our hands on our belly. Slowly moving our legs. Maybe hugging our knees into our chest. Moving how you need in your body. And rolling on to one side. Finding a fetal position. Keeping your eyes softly closed as you work your way up into a seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. Bringing awareness to our breath. I honor the place of you in you that is of love, light, and happiness. I honor the place in you where the universe dwells. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you everyone so much for showing up today for yourself and joining me in this practice. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.